board. Now remember, uh, the due dates have been added for the guided notes turn-in. What we're going to do today, if you want to follow along, or this is where we're getting the presentation material today. So Howard Hughes Medical Institute, is that somebody coming in? Nope. Okay, so we're going to click here with the HH, Howard Hughes Medical Institute neuron. I'm going to come to this incredible site. So we're going to talk about, first of all, how nerves cause muscles to react. Okay. I don't want that one. Okay. Let's go ahead and look here and listen.
Professor,
Yes.
did you say that these notes are due today?
No, I did not.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I heard wrong then. Thank you.
There's nothing due today. There's no notes yet. Okay. Let's watch that again. Okay, I went to the wrong place. Let's get back to where we were. So we're talking about synapses. Okay, so let's look at that again and listen. Okay, let's look at it again. It's a lot of. Okay, so here we have. We don't want that. Get rid of that. Okay, so this is a nerve cell. This is a cell body. These are called dendrites. These are called uh, This is fat surrounding the uh, neuron to insulate it. It's called Schwann cells, and it's myelin. It's a fatty substance. So when neurons talk to one another, they send a message, they send an electrical impulse so that the these are called synaptic terminals or terminal knobs, and the axon of one neuron releases a chemical, a neurotransmitter, and that travels into the cell body. And if the electrical signal is strong enough, the message continues to move down the axon, and it does it again. So, so we should know. We'll learn. This is jumping ahead a little bit, but I want to really focus on this concept. So we got somebody coming in. Okay, admit. Okay. So what you should know is that this is a cell body. These are called nerve processes. These are dendrites. This is the cell body or soma. This is a Schwann cell, which is a cell that grows around the axon. These little gaps are called nodes of Ranvier. And because this is insulated, the impulse, if it's high enough to cause sufficient voltage, cause a sufficient electrical channel, the impulse jumps from node of Ranvier to node of Ranvier. So these are called multipolar neurons. So the release of a neurotransmitter causes changes at the synapse. The synapse is the junction between these axon terminals and these dendrites. So let's keep watching. Okay, so the junction between these axon terminals and these dendrites, that's a synapse. A synapse can routinely use a neurotransmitter, such as acetylcholine, epinephrine, norepinephrine, dopamine. So the information, the electrical signals only travel in one direction. They only travel in one direction, away from the cell body or soma. So here we have axon terminals. Here we have Schwann cells, which are fatty covering. These Schwann cells produce a fatty covering to insulate this axon so that the electrical signal can jump from node of Ranvier to node of Ranvier. So what this gentleman is going to talk about, he's going to talk about calcium entering the presynaptic cell, because this is the pre-synapse, this is the post-synapse. So the first thing that's going to happen is that calcium is going to enter this ending here, this presynaptic ending, and calcium will cause a neurochemical or a neurotransmitter to be released. And that release of neurotransmitter opens more channels on the postsynaptic neuron, and that allows sodium to enter. And when sodium enters, the cell becomes much more positive because sodium comes in from the outside and it causes the nerve to become positive. If the positive change is sufficient, it causes the continuation of a electrical signal. So let's listen. Okay, so this is the presynaptic terminal on the left. This is the postsynaptic nerve on the right. Calcium will enter this presynaptic ending. That'll cause neurotransmitter to be released. The neurotransmitter will be in red. That's going to bind to these little pipes or channels, and that's going to open up the these channels to allow sodium to come into this postsynaptic neuron. And as the sodium rushes in, it's going to cause uh, a change in the voltage of the cell. The cell becomes much more uh, positive, and other channels will open that are voltage sensitive. Okay, so let's watch that, and we'll watch it again. Okay, so notice you can go in and get transcripts, and let's see what that looks like. Okay, there we go. A good summary. So you'll find out what's happening here and get rid of that. So let's watch it one more time. Okay, so let's look at, we got the transcript in Spanish. Let's see what that looks like. Okay, what does it look like? Oh, is that? I'll have to see what, oh, do I have to click here? Okay, back to this transcript here. So I will uh, point this out to you. You should read through this, and I may have some questions for you guys, but this is a summary of what the gentleman just talked about. Okay, so make sure you read that through carefully. Okay, there we go. Let's go back to biointeractive. I'm probably going to go to the wrong place again. This is an incredible site. If you want to look more into it, oop, I got to stop the recording. Let's go back and stop the recording a moment. Stop recording. Stop.